Alright, what's going on, guys? Aaron Goldstein here. I'm not 100% sure, I don't believe I covered this in the last video, just because I've had a couple questions on it, so I just want to make this video covering it. So, in the last video, you learned the title to use, right, and all the right things to put in the title to make it easy to read. That's why sometimes I like to put these dashes in here, just spaces it out, makes it easier to read. We always want to be convenient for the person buying it. The last thing we want to do is, have all these things smushed together, or especially in the description, have it all just clumped together like this without the spaces. So, you learned about that, you got the template. In this video, I just want to cover a couple things. The first thing is, and this is real important, we do this with every single listing that we do. The first thing is you always do a buy it now price. We never do an auction or let buyers make offers. Here's why. There's a couple reasons for this. The first reason is if you do like a 7-day auction, you gotta wait 7 days to get paid. You want to get paid now. Most of us just don't have, 10 grand sitting around that we can use to flip. When I got started with this, I literally got started with $80. So I needed the item to sell now, and then I needed it to hit the PayPal in my bank account so I could get the money now. That's one of the reasons we do it, is because we get the money now. The second reason we do it is it will, not all the time, but the general rule is it will actually sell for more for buy it now than auction. And the reason is think about it. We got to understand the psychology. Let's get in the customer's head. If we have let's say the customer would pay $200 for the item, right? Whatever it is. If we have the auction start off at a penny, well, they're going to be like, well, shit. I would pay up to $200 probably, but all I have to do is put 5 cents on it. So I'll just put 5 cents. They're going to pay the least amount as possible. The other thing it does is when you have a buy it now price, you have one item, a buy it now price, and once it's bought, it's gone forever. So there is a powerful psychology behind this, because even if it's priced a little bit higher than what they might want to pay, they're going to be like, this is literally what they think. They're going to be like, well, I really only wanted to pay $200. It's listed here at $215. It's the cheapest one on eBay. I don't know if I want to pay this much, but I don't want anybody else to buy this item at this price, so I'm just going to go ahead and buy it now. This happens all the time, right? On Black Friday sales, if there's 5 TVs left, they might say, oh, well, I don't know if I need a TV, but look at all these people, they're going for the TV. I don't want them to have the TV. I'm going to buy it anyway. So there's a lot of psychological things that happen there. That's why we always do buy it now. We don't do best offer, by the way. We never do best offer. We only do buy it now because we know the price we're going to list it for. We appraised it. And what it's going to go for is what it's going to go for. Best offer, you're just going to get lowball. So you just ignore that. You give them one option. That's the buy it now. And before I list it, I should just tell you guys this. Before I list the item, whatever I appraise it as, I usually take about 3 minutes, and I see what they're going for now, and I also will check the current items that are being sold at this price. So what you can do is sometimes, if you have like the only phone that's being sold, if it's the only phone like that, sometimes you can mark up the price about 10%. Now, this isn't all the time, all right? This is just a way to squeeze extra money out every now and then. So I had Note 8s, AT&T, bad IMEIs, were going for like $500 a couple weeks ago. They were appraising for like $500, so I bought it based off that it was going to sell for about $500. I looked at the current listings, though, and I saw that there is not one Note 8 bad IMEI being sold. I listed my item at $520, and it sold within 3 hours. So normally I would have listed it at $500, but because I saw there were no other ones like that were listed, I decided to add a few extra dollars to it. And because there was no supply, the demand was higher, and they were going to pay a little bit higher than the market value. Now, this doesn't happen all the time, guys, but this is a little trick you can use, and I use it frequently to every now and then squeeze out a couple extra dollars. I will also look at the current the current ones listed. So like I sold an iPhone X yesterday, and the iPhone X that I listed, it wasn't the cheapest one on eBay for the category it was in, but I looked at the couple other ones that were listed. One was listed for like $550 and $580. So they were cheaper than mine. They came with the phone only, but one had like a couple scratches and one had a couple blemishes. Mine was sealed with the plastic on it. So because I knew it was a little higher quality, I knew that people would pay a little bit more for it because it was sealed, right? Or not sealed, it just had the plastic on and it was 100% mint condition, and people will pay a little bit more for it. So because of that, I listed mine for $590, and it sold. I mean, it sold within like 45 minutes. It was great. Those are a couple tips right there. The second tip is we always do this right here. So look right here, guys. I want you to see this. This is fixed price, not auction style. Good to canceled. I have an eBay store. It's worth getting an eBay store. It's like $15 a month. It makes, instead of like 10% you have to pay, you only got to pay 9%. That tip alone, by the way, would probably save you hundreds of dollars a month. Especially once you start doing numbers. So you just go get an eBay store. It's like 15 or 20 bucks, or 15 or like 25 a month. Instead of paying 10% on the eBay fees, it's only 9%. And 1% adds up when you start doing $10,000 plus a month. It's worth it. I use it. It's worth the investment. I'm not sure if it lets you do good till canceled on stores or not. I have a store, so I just do good till canceled. Do the longest duration you can. Start my listing when I submit them. So you always do this. Never schedule the item. Someone asked me one time, when's the best time to list an item? List it all the time, guys. It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter if it's a holiday. Doesn't matter if it's a weekend or a weekday. Doesn't matter if it's at night, or doesn't matter if it's in the morning. There's no like algorithm of when the best time to list it as. I mean, there might be some theory out there, but I mean, you guys see I'm at about 36 grand for the last 31 days. I list the items right away. Sometimes I pick it up at 2 in the morning. I'm listing it at 2 in the morning on a Wednesday night. I mean, you want to get the item listed as fast as possible. These are depreciating. They would be assets to us because we make money on them, but a phone, I guess, would not be an asset. But you know, we don't want to hold on to these. These phones are not going to go up in value. They're going to drop in value. So we want to get the phone. We want to flip it as fast as possible. List it right away as soon as you get it. And I'll sometimes put off stuff. I mean, I'll sometimes get 5 phones and I come home and I want to go to the gym. List the items first, then I go to the gym. You want to list the items as fast as possible. Buy it now, the quantity. I don't ever put this. Just copy what I'm doing, guys. I want you guys to copy what I'm doing just because what I'm doing works. You guys got the university. I want you guys to skip the learning curve. There's obviously still going to be a little learning curve, but I want you to have success as quick as you can. We're not going to donate that. I mean, I guess you could if you want to, but the template is not to. You're more than welcome to. PayPal, so put your PayPal email address in there. See right here? We only take PayPal. We only take PayPal. We're not doing cards or anything. We're only taking PayPal. PayPal protects you as the seller and the buyer. Look, right here. This is real important. Require immediate payment when buy it now. You want to have them do this. You never want to have them buy the item and be waiting for the payment. When this is checked, see when it's set up like this. So let's say we're going to do this. We'd probably not sell an iPhone X 256 for $225 unless it had a bunch of problems. But when it's set up like this, and they have to buy it now, and they have to pay with PayPal, and you require immediate payment when buy it now, this means that they can only buy the item if they pay instantly. It will not let them buy the item without you getting money. So when this thing is checked, if they decide to buy it, they will pay you, and then the item's bought. You do not want to be waiting there with the item sold, waiting for payment. You know, getting nervous. Are they going to pay or are they not going to pay? None of that stuff, guys. We do not do that. We get the money right away. And if they don't want to buy it right away, great. We're going to keep it on eBay so the other 100 million people that are on eBay can search it and find it, and someone else will buy it. Require immediate payment all the time. Always run it just like this. I do no returns accepted, except I always do accept returns. I do this to scare away them people. The mindset is, you want them to be committed to this. You don't want them to, you know, of course. Ooh, that might be a good lead. you never want... some people, right, they like to buy stuff, they're indecisive. We want to weed those people out by saying no returns. We basically are communicating, hey, look, if you're buying this, you're committing to this. Now, guys, I get people that return phones and request return phones even if it says no returns accepted. I always accept the return. You always want to accept the return just to be in good standing. The last thing you want, guys, is even if it's not your fault and they want to return it just cause, the last thing you want is for them to open up a case against you. If you get too many cases open up against you, you become kind of high risk in eBay's eyes, and they might put a flag or a ban or require some sort of documents for your account. You want to steer away from that at all costs. So I don't care what it is when they ask for a return. I don't even look at it. I just accept it. Now, sometimes I message them, and I say, hey, what's going on? Because sometimes I can just work it out with that. I'm like, oh, well, you just got to do this, and that'll fix it. But I never argue with it. Accept the return, guys. Trust me on this. This is coming from some experience now. Accept the returns. But I click no returns to weed off all the people that are hesitant. You got 95% of the items, guys, that we're just going to be shipping phones are going to weigh under £1, so you're just going to do first-class mail, 2 to 3 days. Handling time is 1 day. I'm at the post office every day, guys. Every day I wake up, I drop the items off. People like instant gratification. They want to get their items right away. I recommend doing 1 day. Handling time is 1 day. So that's like within 24 hours in a business day period, you will have the item shipped out. So it's going to be 2 to 3 business days. You're going to ship it out within 1 business day. They're going to get the item quickly. If I'm doing like a sealed phone, usually the sealed phone weighs more than £1. So in that case, I'm doing USPS, medium flat rate. Most of the time, though, is just a phone, so it's going to be USPS. USPS is the cheapest. I think it's the best. So I always use USPS. That's what I use. And it's always USPS first class package or USPS medium flat rate box. Sometimes, guys, if I got like a weird item, I will do, what's the Parcel Select. This is for like heavier items. But the difference between Parcel Select, the price in Parcel Select, and usually Parcel Select, if you're doing like £1 or £2, is like $8. First class 2 to 3 day or medium flat rate box is like 1 to 3 days. Usually it's like $4 more. And I can just use a medium flat rate box that I get from the United States Postal Office to ship it in, which might save you a little bit, a couple, I don't know, $1 or whatever. So I just usually do like that. These are the 3 that I use, and of course I recommend doing the same thing. We do not ship internationally. Very important to have this checked. You're not covered under eBay's, well, I'm 99.99999% sure, you're not covered under eBay's seller protection if you ship internationally. That's why in the script or the template's so powerful, we say no change in addresses. eBay has things in place to protect buyers and sellers. They don't want you to get scammed. They want you to keep selling on their platform, but in order to be protected by them, you have to ship to their verified PayPal address, which is the PayPal address that automatically populates once they bought the item. Just ship it to the address that automatically populates. You never have to check it or anything. But we don't ship internationally. So you click this, and then international buyers can't buy it. It's not worth it. It's a headache. I'm like, again, almost 100% sure you're not covered under seller protection. We're not shipping internationally. They ask for the weight. Usually phones weigh like 7 to 9 ounces. You don't really have to put the exact number in here. I just kind of guess. Usually like a Note or an S8 Plus is going to weigh 9 pounds. Usually a newer iPhone, like an iPhone 8 Plus, is going to weigh 9 pounds. I think an iPhone X, we ship those at 7, or not pounds, ounces, 7 ounces. You could measure it before you list it. I usually just guess. I don't think it really matters. It's going to be somewhere between, if you got maybe an iPhone SE, that might be 4 ounces. But usually we're going to be looking at between 7 and 9 ounces. Hopefully this helped. Hopefully you guys got value from this. I'll see you on the next video.